So my last myth for this month is that women are weaker, slower, and less able than men in the gym. And this is legitimately not true. And it's all about perspective, okay? And like anything, there's a spectrum. You know, perhaps 10% of all men are stronger than all women, and perhaps all 10% of all women are weaker than all men. But the remaining 80% overlap, and those are not real stats. That's an average generalization. And an individual's ability will depend on quite a number of things. So how often they train, how well they fuel, sleep hygiene, hydration, their training history, mindset, the gender gap in research and training protocols, the gender gap in coaches' education in training women. And it might surprise you, that perspectives are actually playing a role here, because women will outperform men in lots of things, particularly ultra endurance events, mobility, flexibility, that sort of thing. If we're talking absolute strength, so the kilos of weight lifted, then yes, men outperform women by around 30%. But that narrows when we get to events like distance or ocean swimming to about 5%. And then it narrows even further when we're talking about ultra marathon. And then it narrows and it reverses. Women actually outperform men the longer you go. So when we're talking ultra marathon, okay? That's important because of perspectives. That is going to be a surprise for many of us, but it really shouldn't be, because we are better at some things. Endurance, mobility, flexibility are my main ones. But the standards of health and fitness in gyms right now predisposes us to viewing women as less, because they're male standards, okay? They're what men can do. They're men's numbers. If you think about it like this, if we judge someone's health based on whether or not they can touch their toes, then women are going to be outperforming men. If we based their strength ability by the range of motion that they move the weight through, then women would outperform men again. And then if we took on relativity, like the size of the woman involved, then that gap narrows again. So the size of the woman versus the weight lifted, the height jumped, or the speed ran. Those numbers condense even further. So women are not less than, they just look like they're less than because we're judging it on traditional numbers, and we need to start judging, we need better education, and we need to start opening or recognizing our own bias, because we are holding our female clients back when we assume they're less able, okay? I want you to be aware of your bias when you're training women. I want you to educate yourself on their bodies so you give them a chance to reach their potential. And I don't want you to just accept that they're going to jump less high or lift less than every male client you have, okay? Assume they can do better than at least 80% of them, okay? That's not what you've been taught, but this is absolutely true, and you will empower your female clients with this mindset.